Okay, so now I'm going to go over my custom UI workflow within ZBrush. My setup helps me with my speed within the program. I've included a few things for you to download. I've included my custom user interface, all my custom hotkeys, and 3 brushes that I've modified for different reasons. So firstly, what I'd like you to do is copy these brushes into your program files, Pixelogic, whatever version of ZBrush you're using, ZStartup and brush presets. Just paste them in there. Then when you start ZBrush, you're going to have those brushes automatically loaded at the bottom of your list. To load a custom UI, simply go to Preferences, Config, Load UI, find the folder, load that custom UI, and then if you want to keep it the next time you start up ZBrush again, make sure that you store config, and that will keep it on disk for you every time you start up ZBrush. It'll be the default. Also for hotkeys, you're going to want to go to Preferences, Hotkeys, and then you're going to load the hotkeys I've provided, and then you're going to store them. Now, if you ever want to make changes to these or you have your own custom workflow, then you just want to make sure to store and save those separately. Same with the config. Save UI somewhere. I usually stick it on my Google Drive, so I have it wherever I go. All right, so let's go over some of these custom hotkeys and brushes that I use all the time. So first, when I press V, the letter V takes me to Move Topological tool. S is a default ZBrush hotkey, and it just brings up the draw size window, and I use this all the time. I also use brackets. Big and small brackets can also help you increase and decrease your brush size. All right, so let's say that you like using the regular Move tool instead of Move Topological. Well, you could simply change it to your Move tool. Press Control-Alt and click that brush, and see above it says press any key combination to assign custom hotkey, and just assign it V. It'll say it's already taken, but you say that's fine. And then when you flip back and forth, it'll now default to the regular Move brush instead of Move Topological. Then you can save your hotkeys when you've made that change. All right, my next brush that I use is A, and A brings up this standard special brush. And what's special about it is that I have a freehand stroke on, I have the alpha 46 on the brush alpha, and I also have, under stroke modifiers, a roll distance of 3. So what that does is if I divide, and dividing your model is just Control D and Shift D to go back down, and then D to go back up. So now I can quickly go in and carve in any kind of detail that I want. And it's just very easy and very accurate. I just want to make sure I have a brush in my artillery that is heavy duty enough to carve in ideas, and then I can easily smooth them out after I've carved in what I think I want. The next brush I use a lot is C, which is just the regular clay brush. Nothing different about it, but sometimes what I do is I'll often press L, and that turns on Lazy Mouse. And that just helps you have a really nice controlled stroke around a surface. Now I also have a custom clay tool. So if I go to clay and I go to my clay tube special brush, what's special about it is that it's a clay tubes brush, but I have my intensity down very, very low. So if I'm in a mode where I really need to do a lot of polishing and detail buildup, but I want it to remain subtle, I'll just make this my C hotkey, and I can easily go back and forth between V, my move, and then C if I was to assign it to my clay tube special. The other thing that I use is Z, and Z is also assigned to a different default ZBrush hotkey, so you could choose a different one if you'd prefer. But I like using Z, and that's the Displace Special brush. And it's a displacement brush, but I have Lazy Mouse on, and I also have, under Brush Curve Settings, AccuCurve. And what's nice about that is that I can easily go in and outline some forms and really help me get something that I like from that form. And then I can always smooth it back down. So notice how quickly I can move between hotkeys. And the whole idea and purpose behind this is so I never have to worry about the program ZBrush. I always am just thinking about design. I have muscle memory going on, and it's just helping me quickly go back and forth between brushes and functions within ZBrush. So I'm never restricted by the medium. I'm really trying to take advantage of what ZBrush has to offer by using all these hotkeys. I've also memorized all the system hotkeys that ZBrush automatically comes with for various modes. So the other thing I like to use is, say you have a separate subtool. Say you have multiple subtools in here, and you'll see me do this a lot in the video as well. So let's say you have this guy. And you just want to isolate him. Well, I have G set to solo mode. So it's a toggle, so I can toggle it on and off and really quickly go through and make edits to one subtool to the next. And also if you hit Alt-click on a subtool, it'll activate that subtool. All right, great. So that's just some of the stuff that I use to make sure that my workflow is as fast as possible while I'm working inside ZBrush. All right, let's get started.